Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, you can reach us at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Attilio, and I am not on any social media in the more popular sense. What does that mean?
You're on the LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm on the linked. I'm on the linked, but I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. Like, I don't have a Facebook account. I don't have an Instagram account.
But you can
How is that possible?
You can find them on our Team Lally Facebook and my Facebook.
Not on TikTok, not on any of that stuff. But I'm on LinkedIn. And so if you want to connect with me, go ahead and send me a connection request on LinkedIn, Attilio Leonardi. If you see a younger version of me, that's my son. He's got the same name, but I think we're the only two Attilio Leonardis on LinkedIn. And so I would suggest send a connection, questions, direct messages, whatever, follow.
If you have a question you'd like for us to answer on the air, send it there. Maybe we'll read it and answer it.
Anyway, so today I want to share with you the post that's been getting the most engagement. And I post anywhere from 1 to 3 different things a day, either stuff on personal self-improvement but most of them is like agent tips, what's going on with the real estate related and personal success related, and agent top 1% agent tips on how to be better. So if you're an agent and you want to learn our secrets, there is no secrets. I put them all on LinkedIn.
Oh, wait, you know what the secret is?
Yeah.
Execution.
Yeah.
That is the secret.
Yeah. Here's your one tip. If you want to be a successful 1% agent, make 5 phone calls that are 2 minutes or less.
More
with a decision-making adult talking about either them personally or real estate. And you hear I said that? Either them personally and what's going on in their lives or real estate. It doesn't have to be always real estate. Just connect with people.
5 conversations a day.
That's it. And because we even look at our own team or agents in general, you'd be lucky if you do 5 of those in a week, let alone a day. And it's not that success is easy, but not simple. Or no, I'm sorry, success is simple, but not easy. It's simple in that you just got to make 5 2-minute conversations, but it's not easy because people just have all this resistance to doing that.
I was actually having that same conversation with an agent she's not from here, but she does have a background in sales. And, she's lived here for several years, and she just felt like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it in real estate because I'm not from here. I'm not a local.
Not true.
And I just said, no. I said, you just have to do the work.
Yeah.
You got to, answer the phone, do what you say you're going to do, make your outbound calls, have the conversations. And, you just do those simple things and you're going to be ahead of 98% of the other agents.
Yeah. Just making the connections. People really, and it's about caring and connecting and developing rapport, because people don't care what you know, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. So my post that's gotten the most engagement, it was liked by 9 people, had 11 comments, and 492 people have looked at it. That's not a lot, but that's pretty big for LinkedIn, because, LinkedIn isn't about like funny cat videos and all of that, though you'll see those on there. It's more about the professionals.
More business related.
Using real screen names, networking, connecting, hiring, looking for a job and all of that. But this one, my post, and if you see my posts, they're very simple. The image is literally just going to be white letters on a black background. And so, and very simple statements. And then the more part is, when you click on the more to get the explanation. But this post was neighborhood expert versus marketing expert. I'll say that one more time, neighborhood expert versus marketing expert. And here's what I put in the post. The biggest mistake home sellers make when choosing an agent is they hire a neighborhood expert. Now, I know you neighborhood experts out there, or professed neighborhood experts. I will tell you right now, I'm a neighborhood expert for the villages of Kapolei. I've lived there I've lived there for 24 years. I was a Cub Master, Scout Master, did swap meets, helped with all kind of community events at the community center, been there for babies' first birthdays.
You were the Chamber of Commerce first president.
Yeah, I was the first president of the Chamber of Commerce for Kapolei. Raised my kids, taught my kids how to ride bikes in that community, played soccer, played pickleball.
So would we call you Mr. Kapolei?
Yeah, you could. I could be the unofficial mayor of Kapolei, or maybe just the villages of Kapolei. So yeah, I'm the, not the village idiot, but the village expert. And so some maybe get, I don't know, people thinking like, are you really? Because I don't know which one you are. Because I'm funny. But anyway, here's the biggest mistake sellers would make because I would say that if you hired me to sell, and by the way, we have sold multiple listings in every single village within the Kapolei.
Hmm.
Every single village within the Kapolei, including Hawaiian homes. And by the way, I live in Kaupea, which makes me a native Hawaiian because you got to be half. I don't know which half of me is Hawaiian, but the half that was important, it was qualified to be on the DHHL list. And I am a native Hawaiian living on Hawaiian homes in Kaupea between the middle school and the high school in Kapolei. And I've been in the community, like I said, since 2000. So here's what I would tell you. Don't hire me because I'm the neighborhood expert or know Hawaiian homes or any of that stuff. Hire me because in addition to that, I'm also or we are, as Team Lally,
Marketing experts.
marketing experts. The biggest
Yes.
mistake home sellers make when choosing an agent is they hire a neighborhood expert. Let me explain. And by the way, I'm reading my post verbatim. If you want more of this stuff, all you got to do is connect and follow. I know this neighborhood better than anyone. I just said that. That's great. But knowing your neighborhood doesn't sell homes, marketing does.
Hmm.
And
You got to get them in front of the eyeballs.
yeah, you can be the neighborhood expert, but if you're terrible at your marketing and you're not exposing that property, it doesn't matter what your expertise is for that neighborhood if nobody's calling you to ask.
Hmm.
So important? Yes. Neighborhood experts know what your neighborhood sold for, what your neighbor sold for, what street is more desirable, what home sold last year. Important? Yes. Enough to get you the highest price? Not always. A marketing expert knows how to expose your home to thousands of buyers, create demand, drive competition, generate multiple offers, because the truth
To
is
create the buzz.
homes
Yes.
sell for the highest price when the most buyers see them. Would anybody argue that fact? Homes
No.
sell for the highest price when most buyers see them.
And especially when we're able to generate multiple offers and we play our little best and final or
Yeah.
simultaneous counters, and we've got a whole spreadsheet of people,
Anyway,
and
so
yeah, so there's
part of our marketing
strategies.
strategies are our negotiation strategies, our
Hmm.
systems and processes. Continuing on, the best agents combine both skills, neighborhood expertise, powerful marketing. When those two come together, you create more showings, more demand, better offers. The real question sellers should ask is, how will you market my home? How will you market my home? Not just how long have you worked in the neighborhood? And I ended with this. Curious, if you were selling your home, which matters more to you, neighborhood expertise or marketing power? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And agents were commenting, hey, you just put it in MLS, that's enough. And I said, you got to do more than that. You got to do more than that, especially when the market is challenging. And I will tell you, there's probably about 80 different things we do in addition to putting it on the MLS that brings more eyeballs factually because of our digital marketing. We can see who's looking to our listings than just putting it in MLS like every other
And then there's
realtor.
a lot of things that we do even before it goes into the MLS to make
Yeah.
sure that we're getting those the eyeballs on it and then
Yeah.
the multiple offers.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got an expert we trust. We've got Kyle Shimoda from Impact Wealth.
Yes.
He's going to be joining us for a couple minutes and giving us a tip of the week.
Hey, Kyle, what you got for us this week?
Yes. Aloha, Kyle.
Aloha.
Aloha. Good to hear you guys. So there's been a lot
Yes.
of news out right now where these large legacy family assets are being sold because the next generation doesn't want to take it over and manage property anymore. And even on the smaller scale with my clients, I see that often where I'm working with a 50, 60, or 70-year-old in retirement planning. They've purchased property, held on to it for many years, and their goal in retirement was to live off the income of these properties, and they're starting to find that it's a lot of work to maintain it, and now it's starting to cost more money to fix it up. And then there's all this deferred maintenance on the property, like fixing the roof, replacing the roof, changing the plumbing, electrical. And then they're talking to their adult children now that maybe are living on the mainland, and some of them don't want the property. And so they're starting to rethink, what should we do with these aging assets? And so one of the things that I do is the Delaware Statutory Trusts, which qualifies
Mm-hmm.
as a like kind replacement property in a 1031 exchange. So an investor that owns investment property could sell those assets and create an income stream, passive income stream off of it in many cases.
So Kyle, you're mentioning these clients that have owned the homes for many, many years. And I think one thing that people often overlook or don't even think about is that the tax benefits, right? Where they have fully depreciated the property, right? They're not taking full advantage of that. I mean, yes, they are getting the income, right? But then you're saying, oh, there's all this deferred maintenance, and then you're not even getting the full tax benefits.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, and then the 1031 exchange. How do we do better with these assets?
Yeah, so a couple of things, so especially people that have held onto property for a long time, you can depreciate a residential property for 27 and a half years, commercial for 39 years. So what tends to happen is you start to lose those tax benefits. So your income drops because your taxes go up. At the same time, when you're needing to replace all those things on the property or upgrade and maintain the properties. So it tends to eat away at their income stream at the time when they need it the most. And maybe they were managing the property to keep the cost down, and it's just tougher to take care. We would call it the terrible T's, the tenants, the toilets, the trash, right? At a time of their life when they want to focus on the terrific T's, like the time with the kids and the grandkids, the travel, the tea times, and things like that. Tai Chi.
I like those terrific teas.
Kyle, you know what?
That's good.
You know what is we have tons of these. We'll probably do 20, 30 of these types of transactions this year alone, because we've probably got about 5 or 10 in the pipe right now where they are selling the property that's been in the family forever. You know what I see as the number one challenge when we come to these properties?
What's that?
They have either it's a friend, relative, or somebody connected to the family that's living in the property, either for free or at way below market rent, and they don't want to move out, and they have not been taking care of the property. So that's where we come into the equation. In that we take care of all of that. So I gotta be honest with you, your deadbeat cousin that's been living in there and hasn't paid rent since 1979, we go visit with him and we get him out. Nicely, kindly, professionally, we help them do that. But a lot of times the relatives, they're like not comfortable getting them out. And then they say, oh, we just leave them in until we sell. No, you make less money. That's a terrible idea. And they're not really motivated. So they're not going to be so cooperative when it comes to showing the property in the best light. You got to get them out.
And then Kyle, I know that when you sit down.
Don't leave that to your kids to take care of either.
No.
No.
I know that when you sit down with people and you actually run the true numbers, it's usually a surprising figure, right? Because people think that they're making a lot more money than they actually are. Like, what are the things that pop up that they don't really always account for?
Yeah, often when I talk to people, when I ask them, what is your income, gross and net, in many cases their gross could be 4, 5, 6%, but when you net out if there's a mortgage on it or a HELOC, then you've got property management, property tax, insurance, GET. That could range, in some cases people are on the good side, 1 to 3% positive. But there's many cases, where it could be negative. I have a property in some years where I'm negative because of all the maintenance has to go in, or it's vacant for a few months.
Yeah.
So, but with the DST, right, then you do like a comparison, like a side-by-side comparison with, I know like not all DSTs are created equally. Some, perform better than others, and depends on when you're doing the 1031 exchange. There's certain DSTs that are available, but like on average, I mean, you're usually getting at least the same amount of return, if not more, when you run those numbers, right?
Yeah.
When you're sitting down with the clients.
In many cases, if it's a Hawaii property that they're replacing, it's more. Hawaii, California, New York. Certain states, maybe it's the other way around, but in most states like Hawaii, California, it's definitely a positive jump when they do a 1031 exchange into a DST.
Well, yeah, and even if here's the folks, listen, folks. You're like, well, I would tell you right now, even if it's exactly the same, there's one big headache you get rid of: the tenants,
and the upkeep,
and the maintenance,
and then you kind of
upkeep.
stress. The only stress you have is like going to your mailbox to get your money.
One of my most popular posts on LinkedIn, leaving real estate to your kids is a form of child abuse. Because it's just, I will tell you, every time we get involved and the kids are having to get rid of the real estate, there's all these emotions. Some of the kids are not even talking to each other.
Well,
Um,
it causes issues.
I've never
There's a lot
seen
of
one that was
friction that
smooth.
happens.
I've never seen one that was smooth, collaborative, and cooperative. It was always a lot of friction. The good news is we help you with that situation, and then we completely tear it into a fair and equitable situation for all the beneficiaries by having them do a 1031 into a DST.
And there's gonna be a luncheon coming up, right,
Yeah.
Kyle? What is it, on May 12th?
Yeah,
Is that
May
the date? May
12th.
12th?
We work with a lot of what we call DST sponsors. These are larger real estate companies that they focus on real estate, and they also do Delaware Statutory Trusts. So Inland Private Capital, one of the largest real estate companies in the nation, they've been doing
Yeah.
DSTs for over 20 years. One of the largest DST sponsors in the country as well. They come out every quarter and they do these luncheons at Morton's. And if you guys want to learn more, right, reach out to Team Lally, because Team Lally has several seats reserved just for them.
Yeah. In
And
fact,
they're VIP seats. We always get the best ones.
It's very easy to RSVP. All you got to do is give us a call, 799-9596, 799-9596, or send us an email, info@teamlally.com.
I think we even have some information on our website as well
We're working on that.
about the DST. So teamlally.com/DST. And you can learn more about like Attilio and I's story, because Attilio and I, we both have DSTs.
Yes.
So we're not just like talking about this as a concept. This is a strategy that we both personally use as part of our overall big picture, the real estate strategy.
Yeah.
It is one of many.
Yeah, because people hold on. We find so many people that are holding on to these properties for so long. They can't depreciate it anymore. There's no mortgage. They got the same rent from 1987, the same tenants. I think now there's like grandkids of the tenants that are in there. And there's no way that asset is performing to what you could do with a DST. The other thing too is it's not some weird concept or something new or shiny. Wealthy people have been utilizing the strategy for many, many years, and DSTs are everywhere. A big percentage of the Walmarts are owned by DSTs, Amazon distribution centers.
What else, Kyle? Where else can we find a DST?
Oh, so yeah, the type of assets that will go in these DSTs or these trusts, they could be warehouses, like you mentioned, Amazon. They could be grocery,
student housing,
multifamily apartments, self-storage, life sciences. These are like companies that produce pharmaceuticals for some of the big companies. And then even hospitality. So hotels, a lot of hotels can go in there as well.
Yeah.
And what's nice is, minimum investment is 100,000. So if you're selling a property, a condo in Makiki for 200,000, or you've got a $1 million property you're selling and you find a replacement for 900,000, but you have 100,000 left over, you can just place that in a DST. And each DST, with a minimum of 100,000, will be its own asset class. So one DST might have apartments in it, and another one might have, student housing. And so you could split your money into two different asset classes in two different states. So you went from
some diversification.
Yeah, one asset in one state to multiple asset classes in multiple states.
You guys act in a fiduciary manner towards the client. That's a big word. That's, people hear a lot of F words, but what does that one mean? That F word, fiduciary.
It's a good F word. Yes, it means that I have to put my client's interests ahead of my own, right, and help them. Advise them in the best interest.
And we are licensed and regulated and are held to fiduciary responsibilities to our clients as well on the selling of the real estate. Here's what I would tell you. We learned it at the last thing. There's so much oversight. You guys, put these properties, you do all of the due diligence and the research, and that
seems like it takes like months, like 6 to 8 months or
you
longer.
Put it before Wall Street for their oversight. There's the Federal Trade Commission for their oversight. Then you guys have your own parent brokerage that takes a look at it to see if this asset makes sense, not just automatically taking it on because you're going to be recommending it to your clients. Adrienne and I have done our own oversight. It's like We're not the stockbrokers that say, you should buy Apple. Oh, how many shares you own? None. We have DSTs. For me personally, I've got 3 kids. My youngest is 18. When I am going to be converting my real estate portfolio into DSTs, and that is what I'm going to be handing to my kids so that when they come visit me at my gravesite, they bring flowers. They bring flowers. Not going to be like, Dad, why you left us this big headache? No, they're going to bring flowers because they're all going to be able to do whatever they want with that real estate portfolio in the form of a DST and live much happier and fulfilled lives. So again,
come sign up if you got an investment property that you're ready to, leverage a little better.
By the way, if you're listening to our show on the mainland, Kyle, could you help? I think one of our first clients was a lady selling a commercial property in California.
That's right.
That we did with you. And there was no benefit or reward to Adrienne and myself. We just connected her with Kyle, and you guys helped them with that. And so anywhere in the United States, if anybody's listening, you can help them with the DST. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Property in any states. We have licensed in all 50 states.
Awesome. So you any islands, anywhere in the state of Hawaii, Zoom, come visit with you. If you're in Des Moines, Iowa, and it's 0 degrees, though, Kyle is not coming to your house.
Zoom. I prefer Zoom.
You can Zoom. You can Zoom.
Well, thank you, Kyle, for coming on and reminding our listeners about this amazing strategy with the DST.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle. All right. Well, we are going to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Jenny Cambra of Senior Helpers Honolulu. We're going to talk about senior care, aging in place, and how families can better support their loved ones as they grow older.
So stay with us.
Hey, you know someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne, Lally, and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies, including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations, and the home sold in days. If you're in the market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see these signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
The only real estate team I trust right here in Honolulu is Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams Honolulu. Now, thanks for joining me today. What's the number one reason homes don't sell on time?
Sean, sellers are in denial. They are stuck in the previous market and not pricing their homes properly.
How do you solve that problem?
We have a 12-step program. The first step is to have a smart pricing strategy. We follow the 10-10-0 rule. 10 showings, no offers, we have to adjust. 10 days on the market, no showings, another adjustment. For the other 11 steps, give us a call.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com. And you can start packing.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 5-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or We'll Buy It. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm still Attilio.
And if you have any questions, you can reach us at 799-9596 or check us out at teamlally.com.
Hey, before we bring our guest on tonight, I just want to remind you that if you're thinking about making a change in your career, we have a career night coming up. What is it, May 2nd?
It's actually May 4th.
May 4th.
May the
whatever.
4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. But you know what?
And come to our career night.
Forget about me and my dates. Just go to HawaiiCareerNight.com. That's HawaiiCareerNight.com. Let's say you're like, I want to get going with this team right now. Go to jointeamlally.com, jointeamlally.com. And the last thing, if you ever want to call us direct and talk to us, talk story with us, catch up with us, ask us questions, 799-9596. And maybe you're too chicken to talk to us. Send us an email, info@teamlally.com.
Okay, so our guest today is Jenny Cambra of Senior Helpers Honolulu. Jenny was born and raised in Beijing, China, and began her career in hospitality after completing her studies in China and Switzerland. She later moved to Oahu in 2016 to help open a luxury resort in Kualina. After more than a decade in the hospitality industry, she transitioned into entrepreneurship with a mission to improve the quality of life for seniors. Inspired by her personal experience caring for grandparents with dementia, Jenny opened Senior Helpers Honolulu to provide seniors the opportunity to age comfortably at home while supporting families through challenges of caring for aged loved ones.
Please welcome our guest, Jenny Cambra.
Aloha.
Aloha. And so, Jenny, what, you're in, well, first of all, let's start from the beginning. What is Senior Helpers?
Well,
Tell us.
Literally to our name, right? We help senior with all the little things in life. We are the helper of seniors. We help seniors stay and age in place in the comfort of their own home. So anything from grocery shopping, taking them to doctor's appointment, helping them take a shower safely in home. Those are the little things that we do.
Do you help them cross the street?
We do. We help them with mobilities and help to guide them when they are not cognitively, capable, that we provide all the cueings and supervision to those seniors to ensure that they are safe and comfortable at home.
The reason I mention that is that's a proverbial image or video clip that you see that when you're helping someone or doing a good deed, that you're helping an elderly person cross the street. But it's just a symbol, because that's just like one of the many things that you guys help with them. And I think, you know what it sounds like too? You probably provide connection because you're not using robots. You're using real people, right, to help them.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's not something a robot can really replace at this time.
No. Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever be able to replace
the human connection.
The human connection is really, truly, I think, what makes people stay, not just a senior, but even including me, as well. I think, everybody longing for a good quality of relationship and reliable resources, right, to help them go through the days.
We've been in situations when we're in real estate where it's either the elderly homeowners are in that state in the transition. And what I find is that, and personally too, with my grandfather and my aunts and stuff like that we were there with them towards the end of life, is that a lot of times people forget about the caregivers. And I think what I'm thinking is maybe your service provides a little break for the caregivers, which is most likely like the children or the family.
For the spouse.
Yeah, you're very, that's correct. I think not only would provide assistance to the elderly who's needing, physical help or, mental guidance to go through their days, we also provide respite to the family caregiver who's working like a non-paid caregivers. And there are a lot of them. There's millions of non-paid family caregiver across the nation, with how the society structure nowadays, right? You no longer have 10 kids that you can schedule them, 2 days a week. Everybody take turn. So I think the adult children, they do have their own work, right? They have their own family to raise, and they become the sandwich generation where they, on one side, they're supporting their elder parents to age in place. On the other hand, they have their own children, their own career to take care of as well. So it become difficult. And we have seen a lot of burnout, right, from the family member who's living or caring for their elderly parents, that they need some respite care, right? So, and that's what we do.
You said sandwich generation. I thought maybe because they don't know how to cook and they can only make sandwiches, but that is probably true too. Nobody cooks any day. They're like, I even seen kids, they're like Uber eating one sandwich. Like, why don't you just, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, why don't you just make it?
Okay, so Jenny, I know that during your intro, we did talk about your personal experience. So you were that caregiver for your grandparents. So tell us a little bit about that and how that, moved into the Senior Helpers Honolulu.
Yes. Right. So I went back home in 2019 after, I quit the hospitality industry, that I just wanted something new and different, but I didn't know what it was that time. So over the course of a couple of months while I was home, I have witnessed firsthand how my grandparents, were living in their own apartment. Prior to that, they were placed in a, care facility in China. However, it was very unfortunate they got kicked out from that facility because of the severity of their dementia. They were totally disoriented. They were really active in the middle of the night, and they've done a lot of crazy things, according to the care facility. And my mom has to take both of them home and end up hiring 3 caregiver or nannies to do 24/7 care. And even with that, there was incident happened in the house where my grandma fell on the floor and, her head was bleeding. Then we have to rush her into the ER, but someone has to stay home with grandpa. And I was the one kind of like filling in as a caregiver when my mom took my grandma to the ER. And it didn't turn out great, because the moment that I, went to the kitchen and cook a noodle for him, I hear someone's yelling. And next thing I saw was he was on the floor, and I had no idea how he even got from the couch to the floor. And everything becomes so personal at that time. And, I almost felt like I wanted to lash out to him because he wasn't listening to my instructions. Little did I really understand how the dementia progresses. But I think at that time, I really truly felt the burdens that my mom has carried. We love them dearly, but I think when they have this type of condition, going for a long time, and we were not really trained or educated how to respond to their changing situation, it just become really, really stressful. So my goal at that time was not for my mom to sacrifice her entire retirement to be the family caregiver for both of them. And I knew what it takes somehow, to help them achieve the quality of life to the very last breath, and also what it will take, for my mom to do that. So that was just one of the, I would say.
This was in China.
That was in China. Area? Yeah. And I didn't even know there was such a thing called in-home care services. But I think when I came across that here in the United States, in Hawaii, I was like, wow, I wish there was something like that back home where my family can count on in caring for my grandparents.
Yeah, and I think for people, what makes it, like, my personal experience was my grandfather he moved to the mainland, and then he was in a care facility in St. Paul, Minnesota, and then my dad and my uncle went and got him. They said that was like the most grueling flight ever. You can imagine flying there all the way to Hawaii. He kept wanting to get up out of the seat constantly the whole flight. They didn't sleep. And then when we brought him home, he stayed at my dad's house, and we were almost going to have one of my sister Kathy, like quit her job. And then the entire family was going to chip in to pay her bills so that she could be a caregiver. But my dad did it for a long time, and the whole family rotated in and out. And I will tell you, we were, the challenge is all the places that will take them were on a wait list.
Yeah.
And so it's the family that takes care of that. And for us, it was like, Now, he ended up passing away, and I'm not saying that was a good thing, but I looked at it that if he had lived for years and years and years, that would have been like a huge burden on the family. Not that we wouldn't have done it, but people don't think about that. And it would have been nice to have a service like you that we can call that would have maybe not been full on taking care of my grandfather, but like you said, giving the caregivers,
the assistants,
the family a break.
Yeah.
And you probably just go in there and educate people too. Yeah.
Yeah, we provide a lot of resources. You know, we can provide around the clock of assistance to help the elderly.
Oh, wow.
We do anywhere from 4 hours a day to 24/7 care. And it really just, you know, you have a lot of flexibility in home care, where I think a lot of the facilities or care home has certain commitment that you have to be able to commit, right, to a month or a years, whatever that look like. And I think for me, I think even though, you know, statistically, a lot of the caregivers are female figure in the family, the daughter-in-law. I would like to share with the family, our philosophy is let the daughter be daughter. You know, you may not think that's the thing, but I think where family truly can contribute to the well-being of the elderly parents are, you know, providing quality of companionship. I think when, you know, thinking back in my own situation, my mom has never really lived with them ever since she turned 16 or 18, right? So she was out of the family for a very long time. And what does it mean for her to base someone in the 80s, you know, and that's her own dad? One is like she wasn't really equipped with the proper mechanism to transfer him. You know, she can get hurt. And when she got hurt, you know, and then things would be even more difficult. So that's one thing that we always remind the family caregivers, like, we all understand, you know, we are loving, compassion, caring, but you also want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself first. And we also
I remember we had to we had to learn how to change the bed sheets while he was still in the bed. Like, I didn't even know you could do that, but we had to learn that whole process from the nurses that came by.
Right.
So it's things like that you don't know.
You don't know. So totally.
So Jenny, I know that, like, you know, we're talking about, I think, like more extreme kind of situations, but I think that you provide a variety, right, of different types of services. So when would you say that it's time to bring in the senior helpers of Honolulu? How do you know, like, it's time to call you guys?
There's different ways to look at it, right? One is like everyone ages differently. And to your point, that's very true. You know, 85% of the functional status are happening at a home level, right? So when you notice that your mom and dad has declined in vision, hearing, maybe it's time for them to, you know, give someone the ability to drive them, right, to doctor's appointment. We've came across a lot of senior who drove or who drive themselves based on the memory because their vision has declined.
Oh, wow.
They can't see well,
That's
but
scary.
it's just they have been driven like that for 30, 40 years, and it seems to be fine until someone hit their car. Right.
Or until somebody changes the route or got construction.
Right.
Or, that sounds like the driving school developed by Stevie Wonder.
In fact, my mother-in-law was doing that, and she was, you know,
driving by Braille.
She had a cataracts, and I think she didn't even notice that how bad it got to until I think one day my father-in-law pointing out something to her. She just couldn't see it, and that's how we found out.
Yeah,
and that's scary.
Yeah,
right. You don't have to wait until.
I know, and they're like,
yeah, you're hospitalized.
There's a big garbage truck in front of us. What garbage truck? Oh, that one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's safety of the people around. That creates potential lawsuits, liability for the family. You know, grandma finally pays off the house and then she gets into a big old accident and then all of that goes to those legal fees. So I think it's worth it for the safety of the family, the general public, to give you guys a call and at least see what it's all about.
Right. And there's really like certain autonomy that we are looking at, right? Are you eating on time? Do you have your way of getting groceries, right, regularly and on a consistent basis? How safe it is for you to move around, whether it's inside the house or outside? What is the cognitive level, right? Because sometimes things happening inside that we can't really see. But I think for us, we sometimes see the cues of, hey, it's not just a normal aging of being forgetful. It's something has changed in their patterns. I think those are some early signs that you may want to start looking at resources, but also looking at, what is sustainable and consistent, right, for you to provide the care, because, now everybody's back to work from COVID. If your mom and dad has multiple doctor's appointment, are you able to take out work 3-4 hours each time? And I think when it kind of like gets piled up, then you may need to look into other resources to help your mom and dad so that you get to keep your job, stay focused at work, and also having the peace of mind knowing they're fine.
Yeah. So relieve that financial stress, emotional stress, general overall mental well-being, and probably just the energy of the entire family, right?
Yeah.
Having to take care of mom
and
or dad.
The other thing I wanted to mention is when you have parents or elderly around you that might be a veteran or people who has Medicare, right, may have a diagnosed like dementia or Parkinson's, there's a lot of program that you may not even be aware that, we can help to share resources with you. We care for a lot of veterans who got directly approved by the VA clinic, right, on a certain number of hours per week. Right. That's when you can really use some of the resources at no cost to you. And people generally, it's like you don't know what you don't know until you actually need something like this.
Yes.
But every government program, payer program require time, right, to get everything processed. I would say start early looking into those resources. Give us a call, right? Let us share what we
What's
know.
The number?
Our office number is 808-210-2308. We have 24/7 coverage on this line. So give us a call.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you late at night.
They have 24/7 coverage for helping also. I noticed on the website open 24 hours. So if you need the evenings, weekends, holidays, like you guys got them covered.
Maybe you're in a situation where you're caring for two parents and maybe one needs to go to urgent care. What you gonna do? You cannot leave the other one at home by themselves, and then you come home, and then now you gotta take the next one to urgent care. So please give us a call. Let's leave that number up, 808-210-2308. Again, that's 210-2308.
And Jenny, so what would you say that makes the in-home care a better option for some seniors compared to going into a facility?
Well, they have like adult daycare, and then they also have the facilities.
Yes.
How does it work better for them staying in the home?
Most people wanted to live in their own home.
Yeah.
That's just the reality. However, aging in place requires a lot of help, right? And, kind of like assistant. I would say sometimes it takes a combination of effort. We work with elderlies or clients who go to daycare, right, for a portion of their day, but there's still a portion, 4 or 5 hours after they come back from daycare that we can assist them. I think the question is really what matters to them and what do they want, right? Because I have to say there are people who are willing to go to the facility. They're, wanting to go through the new routine. But for a lot of our clients or in general, people love to be in their home and they feel like they still have the control, right? They're still the alpha in the house. They can decorate however their bedroom look like, right? They're very familiar in that environment, which also provides a lot of, sense of security to them. So I wouldn't say, home care is one fits for all. And same way goes to a facility. You really wanted to understand what mom and dad wants and do the right thing for them.
I would say too that people should, who are listening to this and are wondering if it's something that is helpful for them, should call, because that would be amazing if you knew that mom and dad or great grandpa and grandma's medical coverage or their veterans benefit covered it, and you just didn't know, and you weren't taking advantage of that. Not only quality of life for grandma and grandpa, but quality of life
for the family,
and the caregivers.
Totally.
And keeping them safer too, because you guys are trained professionals. You know how to help to navigate them with the bathing or medicine and
recognize the change in behavior and how to adapt.
Right.
I think that's important because for the family members, it's like the first time.
Yeah.
So instead of having plenty of kids and treating them nice so they take care of you, we're just going to call senior helpers. And then do you know what? Then the family gets, because when I used to go visit my grandfather on both sides, it was just quality time. We were just there to catch up with him and visit with him and connect with him and hear his stories. And so that gave me an opportunity to interact with my grandfathers when they were towards their end of life in a different way, more of a quality way.
Yeah.
So Jenny, speaking of stories, we are going to be wrapping up the show, but we'd like for you to share with us a success story or an example of how Senior Helpers was able to really make a big difference in for a local family here.
We have helped the veterans who got discharged from a rehab centers. When he came home, he was wheelchair bound. He was a big guy, but he was totally not able to walk. Then we did the in-home assessment, and they lived in a beautiful house in IEA, and it was 2 floors, and the stairs are steep and long. So there's a few things that we were able to share with the families during the assessment. One, we suggested to move his bedroom up to the ground floor near the entrance where he doesn't need to deal with the long stairs, especially with wheelchair. That was very unsafe. And we have given them also some tips of how to best arrange the bedroom to be functional and also practical, and which will eventually help with his recovery. And then we'll look at all the assessment areas, how safe is your home? Do you have the durable medical equipment to assist you with the recovery? What does it take, right? What are the activity of daily living, right? And things that you need to accomplish, ensuring that he is clean and safe. So we recommended daily care to start. We started at, I think, 7 hours a day. The wife is home, but the wife also they're in the same group, right? Age group. So, wife still wanted to handle his breakfast and meals. So then we're like, okay, great. That's all you take care of. We don't want you to help move this veteran because it's going to break you, or it's going to eventually hurt you. So we have placed in a caregiver right there. They have prescribed PT, OT, and our caregiver not only was able to help him on the personal care level, but also was able to practice those PT, OT exercise with him and keep him accountable. So I think after 2 months of the time, at the time we met him, they haven't gotten the first VA appointment yet. So they were doing primarily private pay. We shared the information with them, encouraged them to go for the VA benefit application. So 2 months after that, he got approved. So he was able to use his VA hours to reduce the cost that he has to pay out of pocket. And the good news was he was able to stand up from the wheelchair using walkers. And another month go by, he was fully able to walk.
Fully mobile.
Fully mobile.
Nice.
I mean, that was I think we have to give a lot of credit to him because he was the one doing all the hard work. However, I think it's a collaborative effort, right? Between the agency, between the family, there's constant communications, and the daughter who actually doesn't live here on the island. So that we also keep her in the loop because she's the one helping to coordinate everything.
That must have just relieved so much stress for the daughter.
Yes.
Because what do you do? Like if you have a husband, kids, a whole life, do you just uproot that and go move all the way to take care of?
No, you call the Senior Helpers of Honolulu.
Senior Helpers.
Yeah, so from the first time,
808-210-2308.
from the first time we met him, all the way to the 3 months during the reassessment, we're able to reduce 50% of the risk in home to prevent the hospitalization the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And he has gotten so much better. The wife seems to be, less stressful.
Yeah.
So we're still helping them, but we were able to reduce the hour because he's just got so much better. I think the daily care, the consistency is there, and our caregiver was able to build a meaningful relationship with them.
I had a first-hand experience of Adrienne had double ACL surgery, and she's a very persistent person. So both her knees were shot out. We're recovering, and I had to push her around Italy on our vacation in a wheelchair. And there were times where I almost wanted to leave her at the train station, but I love her. And so I put her on the train. But it's like, I know what that feels like. So I put her on the train. Then I got to go get her crutches, bring the crutches on. Then I got to go get the suitcases, put the suitcases on. And then making sure that the train isn't going to leave me. So
it was a whole production.
It was a whole production. And so I know what that's like. And so I told her, this is what it's going to look like when you take care of me, because I'm older than you. But I told my kids, tie one rope, like even if I cannot speak, tie a rope around my waist and bring me on hikes. Just don't let my drool bucket fill up too much. Let me be in nature. I don't want to be inside the house.
We'll be calling the senior helpers as well.
Senior helpers. Senior
helpers to the rescue.
I need senior hiker helpers because I like hiking.
Well,
senior hiker
Jenny,
helpers.
Thank you so much for being our guest. And it was very valuable information. I hope some of our listeners do reach out and just have a conversation.
They will. Yeah, because they were like,
what a great resource.
What a relief and potential stress. I think they should at least give you guys a call to at least do an initial consultation to find out what they don't know.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's a great way.
Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
Bye.
Aloha.
Yeah, the number 210-2308, 210-2308.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And thank you to our sponsors.
Bradley with Allstate Insurance.
Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke of Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson with Fine Line Paintworks.
Amphi of Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu, Attorney at Law.
Rhino of Hawaii Unified.
Janice with Dreamhouse Drafting.
Fabio of Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Kyle with INPAC Wealth.
Brian of Cleanscape.
Benji with Hawaii Referral Agent.
Danny of DHA Financial.
Joseph with Keymasters Locksmiths of Hawaii.
Christopher of Falcon Services.
If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Hans, our producer.
Chee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life
forever.
This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
sold program.
If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price and or time frame, we'll have it bought for cash.
Thanks and aloha.